Hi, I'm Barbara Bruni, and welcome to Pilates Core Training. Pilates 1 and 2 is a course offered at UWF, and today I'm happy to have two students in the Pilates 1 class join us today. We have Megan Glesser in the front on the blue mat, and Sarah Pence in the middle on the purple mat. And we are going to go today through a basic level Pilates class, and as always, stay within your own pain tolerance. If something doesn't feel right, certainly make the moves a little smaller or even don't do them at all. But we'll have some pretty challenging moves in here, and we'll go ahead and get started with breathing. So let's put our hands on our rib cage and take a nice deep breath, and just notice how the ribs expand wide to the side. And likewise, as you exhale, the rib cage gets smaller. And we'll do that 2 more times. As you inhale, feel how the hands spread as if your fingers are your ribs. And then as you exhale, the rib cage gets smaller. And we'll do that 1 more time. Keep your belly button in this time and take a deep breath. This is called costal breathing, using the rib cage to move more. And as you exhale, feel how the sternum softens a little bit and the ribs move together and the belly button draws in. We're going to continue using that breath as we go into a small abdominal warm-up. So just sitting on your mat, you can have your hands behind your thighs, or you can have them just out in front of you. On your thighs would give you a little help here. Press down into your feet and bring that tailbone under so your back is slightly rounded. Take a nice deep breath. And exhale, go back just a little farther. Stay here. Keep your belly button in and take a deep breath. Exhale and relax your shoulders back and down. 1 more time. Inhale. This time as you exhale, just roll back up and sit up nice and tall. Hold on to your shins and really work to get a good length happening through your spine. So if you were to right now think that you're elongating your spine, like the top of your head's trying to touch the ceiling and your shoulders are pulling wide trying to touch the side walls, that's the feeling of spinal length and shoulder width that you're working to maintain through all of the exercises. So let's do those rollbacks again with a little more intensity. Arms are forward, inhale. Exhale as you pull your belly button in, bring your tailbone under, inhale here. Exhale, go a little lower, curl that tailbone under, hold it. Inhale, keep your belly in to support your back. This time as you exhale, you're going to take your arms overhead. You might feel a bit of a shiver there. That would be good. And then inhale down. We'll do that 1 more time. Sit up nice and tall, back straight, shoulders wide. Inhale. Exhale, curl your tailbone under, bring your belly in, and keep the shoulders wide. Inhale. As you exhale, take your arms overhead. Good. And then inhale, bring your arms down, and exhale, roll back up. All right, we're going to take that down to the mat. We're going to lie flat. All right, so from here, we're going to get a little more wake up of the lower abdominal. So we'll bring our legs up to what we call tabletop, and we'll put our hands in front of our knees. So our arms are just here to prevent our knees from moving in over our belly. So from here, push your low back down into the mat as hard as you can and pull your belly button in. And then just release it, and you'll feel your low back come off the mat a little bit. Inhale. And again, exhale. Push your low back into the mat. Push your lowest rib into the mat. Keep pulling your belly button in so it doesn't pop out. And then release it. And 1 more time, exhale and imprint your low back into the mat. Keep pulling your belly button in and just keep these thighs relaxed. We don't want all the hip flexors to overwork at the expense of not working those abs. And release that. And then bring your feet down to the mat. We're going to be working in an exercise that requires neutral spine. So let's find that. You're going to rock your hips forward so you have a big space between your low back and the mat. That's an anterior tilt. You'll feel your shoulder blades fall backwards. Take a deep breath here. And then just reverse that. On your exhale, go back to imprinting your low back into the mat. Your shoulders might roll forward a little bit, but try not to have them get tight. You're still thinking width. So let's look at those two extremes again. An arch forward, big space. You'll feel your back muscles work. And then imprint, posterior tilt, pushing your low back into the mat. Now keep those ribs down and bring your pelvis more towards an anterior tilt where you're somewhere in between the two extremes. You want to feel your rib down, but your low back off the mat. See if you can keep that when you bring your legs up to tabletop. We're going to take a deep breath and let's just work that neutral position. On your exhale, lower your right foot towards the mat. Keep your belly in and your ribs down. And then inhale, bring your leg up. And again, left leg. Exhale and inhale. So using that deep breath we started with, ribs together, blowing all the air out, pulling your belly in. Inhale, wide, the ribs expand. And 3. And up. And exhale, 2. This might look easy and simple, but I bet Megan and Sarah would have to disagree with you on that one. Me too. These are hard. Bring your legs up, or arms up as well. And then as you exhale, lower your left leg and your right arm. Move away from center. Work to keep those ribs against the mat. And inhale up. And left arm, right leg. Breathing out. And inhale. And 4 more. You're still thinking about, even though the arms are working here, you haven't forgotten the width, like you're pulling your shoulder blades and collarbones wide. Exhale. And last one. And rest. Let's bring those knees in towards your chest. And hold on to your thighs behind your knees. We're going to go into a partial roll-up. Let's start by bringing our feet down to the mat. And we'll put the back of our hands together and place our thumbs on our breastbone. Here, still thinking about shoulders down. Back to your neutral pelvic alignment. You're not pushing down into the mat. Inhale. Exhale, nod your chin towards your chest, and then feel how your hands slide down towards your hips and hold here. Working to keep those shoulder blades off the mat. Grab your thighs, take another breath, pull yourself up another inch, and hold here. Then stay that high as you take your arms up and lower down. We'll do that 2 more times, just waking up those upper ab fibers now. We worked the lower, now we'll work the upper. So we'll put our hands back on our breastbone. Inhale. Exhale, nod your chin, slide your hands and sternum towards your hips. Grab your thighs, keep those elbows slightly bent as you pull yourself up. Take your hands up, hold it, and lower down. Let's do that 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. And grab your thighs. Pull yourself up higher. Hold that. Take those arms up. And lower down. So this next exercise is a partial roll-up, or a roll-up prep, actually. We're going to bring our hands behind our thighs, starting in that tabletop, 90-90, elbows bent. Inhale. On your first exhale, come up, head, neck, shoulder blades as high as you were just working on. Take another breath. Go into your ab prep. Push your low back into the mat and then push your thighs into your hands. Nice job. Inhale there. And then exhale, roll back down. Curl the tailbone under you. Try to touch your low back, then your first rib, and then your shoulder blades. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhale. And exhale, head, neck, shoulder blades, and low back and roll up. So if you need to take 2 breaths there, that's fine. You can also do it in 1. Let's exhale down, working to keep the front of your thighs relaxed. Let your abs do more work than your hip flexors. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale, sequencing 1 vertebra, rolling up at a time. Inhale at the top, shoulders still pulling wide. And exhale, curling down. And we'll do that 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale up. Nod your chin. Scoop your belly. Roll up. And now we'll stay right here. Let's extend our legs down on the mat. And we'll separate our feet just a few inches apart, and or probably shoulder width apart would be good here. We'll keep our hands on the tops of our thighs, growing nice and tall. Take a deep breath. We're going into an exercise called spine stretch. Nod your chin and roll forward. If you can grab your ankles or your feet, go ahead and do so and pull yourself forward like you're just trying to pull your spine away from your hips towards your feet. Inhale. Exhale, pull your belly in and restack your spine nice and tall like you're just stacking it up against a wall behind you. And we'll do that again 2 more times. Exhale, nod your chin, roll forward. Grab those feet wherever you can. Feel as you're pulling your spine forward, you're sliding your shoulder blades down away from your ears a little bit so that we're getting more stretch through the whole spine and not just up by the shoulders and between the shoulder blades. Take a deep breath and exhale, roll back up, and we'll do that 1 more time. That feels good. Inhale, stretching out those hamstrings, and nod your chin and roll forward. Pulling yourself forward, nodding your chin towards your throat. Pull that belly button in and pull your shoulder blades down towards your hips. Take a deep breath here. And exhale, pull your belly in and sit up nice and tall. And now from here, we're just going to scooch down a little bit so we can roll all the way down onto our mat. And we're going into the full roll-ups now. We did the roll-up prep, so now full roll-ups. We'll put our feet together. Now, start with your toes pointed like you are pointing your toes, yeah? Like a ballerina. All right, take your arms up, get a nice deep breath. Exhale, reach overhead, still with the intention of keeping those ribs against the mat. Inhale as you lift up. Now flex your feet and breathe out all the way. Inhale through your stretch, ears between the arms. Exhale down. Keep your feet flexed all the way down. Feel like you're reaching long out the back of your legs, out your heels. Then point your toes. Inhale up. Exhale back. Knees stay straight, pulling your shoulders wide. Inhale, lift. Flex your feet and breathe out all the way up. Inhale as you're reaching your head towards your feet. Exhale and lengthen down, allowing your shoulder blades to slide down your back away from your ears. Point your toes. Inhale. Exhale. So even from this position, you're feeling a great stretch down the tops of your feet and shins. Inhale, lift. Flex your feet. Now feel this stretch through the Achilles tendon. And inhale. And now instead of rolling all the way down, we're going to sit up nice and tall. And we're going into an exercise called saw. So we'll take our feet about mat width apart and our arms wide, sitting into that great length. We're going to inhale and turn to our right. Good. Nice and tall. Growing, growing, growing. Then exhale, reach down. Once again, grab your ankle or your foot. Look at the wall behind you. Take a deep breath. And exhale to come up. Inhale as you spiral left. Exhale, reach down. So always thinking contrast when you're going into a stretch. So as you're bringing your left rib cage under, your right rib cage under, push your right hip back. Take a deep breath and exhale to come up. We'll do 4 more. Inhale, spiral tall. Exhale to reach. As you're reaching to your right foot, push your left hip back. Inhale. And exhale, belly in, takes you up. Inhale, tall like you're spiraling up. Exhale, down. Inhale, push long through that left foot. And come up. And 2 more. Inhale, spiral. Exhale and reach. Push into your right foot as you really bring that right rib cage under. Left rib cage under and come up. And last one. Inhale, spiral. Exhale, reach. Push into your left foot. Pull that right rib cage under. Pull yourself a little bit lower. Deep breath. and come up from there. From here, we're going to just flip around and go into an all fours position, just as if you were crawling. It's a prep for getting ready for push-ups. It's upper body weight bearing. So now we'll be getting into some strengthening into the upper body. So not only are you strengthening your arms, but you're strengthening all of this good, strong musculature that attaches to your shoulder blades. So your hands are under your hip sockets and your knees are under your hands are under your shoulder sockets and your knees are under your hip sockets. So you're in a square. Really connect into those ribs and pull your belly in. Look down at your hands so your neck's in a good alignment. Curl your toes under and take a deep breath. Then as you exhale, all you're going to do is lift your knees up off the mat an inch or two without letting any of that alignment drop. So you don't want your head to drop or your back to sink in or your shoulders to hike. And lower down. So once again, they're the sneaky little exercises. They look easy, but they're oh so challenging. Here we go. Do it 2 more times. Inhale, shoulder blades down. Exhale, lift your knees. And inhale down. And last one, and then we'll add on. Exhale, pull those abs in and lift. Pull those shoulder blades back and down. And lower down. All right, on this next one, we're going up into an inverted V. Inhale, starting the same way, lift your knees up off the mat. Then on your inhale, just push your body back. So your tail feathers go up towards the sky, still feeling your breastbone pull downward towards the mat. Really push back. Try to get your ears between your arms. Now keep that sense of pushing your chest towards your knees as you straighten those knees. Hold here. Take a deep breath. And lower down. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Lift your knees. Inhale. Shift back towards your knees. Really opening up those armpits. Tail feathers up to the sky, chest towards the mat. Take another deep breath. Then exhale, straighten those knees, connect your ribs, lifting your tail feathers up and lower down. And 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, lift your knees, keep them bent. Keep pulling your shoulder blades down your back. Inhale, keep your knees bent as you shift back. Then from here, straighten those knees, lifting higher and lower down. From here, we're just going to shoot right out onto our bellies. We're working just our hip extensors so that you feel the difference between hip extensors and low back. So we'll just rest our head on our hands, scoop those abdominals up off the mat. Feel like you're pushing your hip flexors into the mat. And then on your exhale, lengthen your right leg and lift it off the mat, but still keep the intention of keeping the hip flexors down. And release. And we'll do that again. Pulling those shoulders down. Exhale, lengthen out your left leg and lift. And release. We'll do that 4 more times. Exhale, so that sense of reaching and then lifting the right leg, shoulder blades down, belly up, and release. Exhale, pull that belly button up off the mat as you lengthen and lift your left leg. Keep that pubic bone down on the mat and release. Because if you go too high, it's your low back, that anterior tilt that lifts the leg. Exhale, lift the right leg. And here we want the muscles in the back of the thigh, the hamstrings, and the butt muscles, the gluteals, to lift the leg. And lower your right leg. And we'll do that 1 more time left. Exhale, lengthen and lift. And release it down. Going right into an exercise called single leg kick. So we'll support ourselves on our forearms, shoulders still pulling down. Feel how your breastbone pulls forward through your shoulders. Your neck is in line with your spine. Now scoop the abdominals without losing those shoulders. Inhale to prepare And we're going to bend the right leg first. 2 exhales. Here we go. 1 pointed, 1 flexed, and inhale down. And here we go left. Exhale, exhale, inhale. And exhale, exhale, inhale. We'll keep that pace. As we do these, feel like you can keep your hips quiet so that the butt's not popping up every time you bend your knees. If you had tight quadriceps and tight hip flexors, that would be a challenge to not let the hips pop up when you bend your knee. This is a good stretch to those. We'll do one more each side, and we'll get those abs a little bit more. So from here, just want to bring those elbows in closer to each other just a little bit. You can either have palms down or palms face in, whatever helps you go into plank. So here we go. Pull your shoulders down and wide. Wrap those ribs so you've got the good oblique connection, and lift your hips up off of the mat. Then straighten your right knee, squeeze into that glute and hamstring and ab. Straighten your left knee and hold here. Keep pulling your shoulders wide. That looks great, you guys. Keep your neck nice and long. Keep your belly in. Get that sense of the low abs. And lower your knees and lower your hips. In case you just watched that first one, now you'll have the opportunity to do another. You can do one now. So let's jump down to that floor and go into a plank. Slide your shoulders down, pull them wide, back to the width of shoulders. Inhale. We'll stay on our knees and just lift our hips. Then connect those ribs and tuck that tailbone so our back's not dropping. Good. Then straighten your left knee. Squeeze into the butt cheek and abs. Then straighten your left and hold it. Nice. Ribs connected. Neck in line with the shoulders. Feeling those abs. And lower your knees and lower your hips. And we'll just push back for a minute to sitting on our feet to child's pose, just to stretch out the low back momentarily. Take a nice deep breath. And exhale to come up. We'll flip over onto our backs again. And we'll go into single leg stretch, which helps to stabilize the hips so that each side of the low back and waist have equal strength. So from here, let's just pull our right knee into our chest for a minute and extend our left leg out. Notice when you extend your left leg, it helps to open up the front of that left hip flexor, and it pulls your pelvis to a more neutral place where you really cannot be in a place where your low back touches the mat. You're neutral. Inhale to prepare. As you exhale, nod your chin to chest and lift those shoulder blades off the mat. Now, from here, just move your hands to your calf and lift that left leg so it hovers above the mat. Look at your waistband and see that your right hip and left hip are level, that your right hip's not higher up towards your armpit. You might have to think about reaching long through the right waist, and hide your foot. Here we go. We're going to inhale as we switch legs. Exhale. Inhale as we switch legs. Exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So keep sliding those ribs down towards the hips so that you're not in the habit of pulling up with your neck. And we'll go 3, elbows slightly bent out to the side each time, stabilizing your hips. 2. Oh, and we've got one more to go. And pull your knees into your chest. And bring your feet down to the mat. And we'll do a couple of bridges. Shoulders back. Feet are just a couple inches apart. Inhale and rock your pelvis back to how we started. Anterior tilt. Big space. Exhale, push your low back down into the mat, and then continue to lift up. And lift up just as high so you're neutral and you're not arched, because we want some core strength here. Take a deep breath and exhale, lower down. Bring your ribs down, bring your low back down, and then your hips. We're going to do that again, just adding on. Inhale, we'll do some table legs. Exhale, imprint, peel up to bridge. Once you get there, take a moment and connect through the ribs and draw your belly in. Squeeze that left butt cheek. Feel like you're pushing down harder with your left foot into the floor and lift your right leg. So just like single leg stretch, if you want to lift your head and see that your hips are level, that the right hip's not dropped or hiked up towards the armpit, that's fine. Or you can use your hands to feel that. And then bring your right foot down and let's lower down. And we'll do it again. Inhale. Exhale, imprint the ribs, the low back, and then bridge up. Get into where you need to be first. Push that right foot down, squeeze into the butt cheek, keep the belly in, and then lift your left leg. Keep that left hip lifted, shoulders back, belly scooped. And then bring your left leg down, lower your hips. Let's just extend our legs all the way out. We're going to transfer to a seated position back through a roll up, pointing your toes, legs together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, reach back, shoulders still wide, knees straight. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you flex your feet and roll all the way up. Inhale through the stretch and then sit up nice and tall, and we'll end with a mermaid side bend. So facing the front, we'll go into a Z sit here. Your left leg is back and your right foot is in towards you. Let's put your right hand on the mat and take your left arm overhead. Bend your right elbow and go into a nice side bend. You want to slide that right shoulder down out of your ear as you push your left hip down. Close those ribs a little bit and come up, and we'll do the other side, and we'll have gone through a nice solid workout here where we got all major muscle groups, especially those abdominals. Take a deep breath and come up. And we want to thank you for joining us, and I want to thank Megan and Sarah for joining me today in class, and we will see you again. Thank you.